All right, so we're going to have a nice little fireside chat. It's my pleasure to bring Vinny Lingham out. We got Miko, probably the hardest working hustler in crypto, and the hardest working growth hacker I know, Justin Wu. I invited Vinny today because if you haven't followed what Civic did, they not only launched a very successful ICO, but they launched it by creating FOMO in an organized fashion that was probably the best run ICO campaign you'll ever see.
Well, we ran our token sale last year in June. We're one of the first companies to do one. And it was at a time where I think people were really trying to get into the space, but the ICOs at that point had all been dominated by, a large number of big insiders, and they would take big chunks of the ICO, 20%, etc. And by the time you went to the website to go purchase, it would all be sold out in 30 seconds. And that was the prevailing way that ICOs were done back then. Demand was excessive, supply was minimal. When we did our pre-sale, we had $100 million in commitments on a $33 million issuance. So we could have just stopped at that point and not opened up any to the crowd and walked away at that point. But we said, look, let's change this around. Let's make this an open playing field or fair playing field. So we created about 10,000 slots and sort of packages, allocations, everything from I think $50 was the lowest to $25,000. And we opened up on the 21st of June. We had a queuing process on our site, and we had literally 50,000 people in the queue on the day. Who was in the queue? Anyone here trying to buy? Yeah. And the good thing about it was we had such a broad, diverse base of people buying it that I think right now, if you look on Etherscan, there's like 50,000 wallets holding CVC right now. And no one wallet holds more than like 1 million tokens or something outside of the exchange wallets. So very broad distribution base, very hard. If someone wants to amass 10% of our float, it would push the price up 10x. I think what people really liked about what we did was even though we sold out everything, we still gave just the average person the chance of getting in, even if you weren't an industry insider.
So basically what you're touching upon right now is building a community. And you really reached out to build that community.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to create FOMO for your ICO, one of the things that I realize is super important, probably actually number one, is building that community. What are some of the hacks and tricks that you learned during that process to engage and build a growing community? These days, the hack is get a huge Telegram following.
Yeah, so the Telegram thing was an afterthought for us. I mean, we had a couple of thousand, 3,000 or 4,000 at that point. It was more about being insightful. So I would write blog posts that would explain what we're doing, how we're trying to do it, share that with the community, how we're thinking about things, how we think that the ethos of the company is aligned with the way we're doing the token sale, what we stand for, what our values were, and communicated that. So it's called inbound marketing. There's a book actually on Amazon, you can get it, called Inbound Marketing. And it's just really by communicating the message of your company to people, you'll attract the right people to your company. That's kind of the summary of it. And it worked.
I just want to comment on my own experience of Civic. So I got up. I was one of those guys. Got up 6 in the morning, right? I had everything going. I was ready, right? And I got in line, right? So I was in line. And then basically what happened was the line basically took like 3 hours. So I got at the front of the line, and I was like, okay, right, here's my allocation. So I just put the order in, and I went to work. The network dropped my transaction. Total fail, right? So what I ended up doing is I ended up emailing like this guy. I said, Vinny, can you help me out? Like, I really do want to participate. I had the allocation. I sent the Ether. Here's the transaction address. You can see that I tried, and it wasn't my fault. And he was like, here's my team member, and, we'll make you whole. We'll take care of you. So, to me, my experience of that it wasn't about kind of like FOMO and engineered greed or anything of that sort. To me, my experience.
FOMO. I mean, you reached out to him via email. You're like,
no, I wanted to get some, but I mean.
Come on, you had a little bit of FOMO.
No, but I think that at the core, what we were all able to see is that this is a legitimate business with real products and a design of extending the tail in order to create the community. So it's not even about it's about inclusion, and it's about kind of building a community using the token sale, which I thought was very impressive.
Thanks. I mean, we actually took in $33 million from all the buyers, and we held it, and we then did the token sale with 11 million for a wider audience, and we refunded the money. So the interesting is, like I said, we already sold it out. It was already gone. So we went through all this extra effort just to go from 500 people participating to 10,000.
Yeah, let's give him a big hand because that was actually, he didn't have to do that.